Hey there, folks. Thank you for taking some time to watch this short little presentation. I'm going to take just a few minutes to kind of talk through the things you need to consider when evaluating your estate planning options. Before we jump into that, two things. One is I have the obligatory disclaimer that this is a general education presentation and is not legal advice. If you would like legal advice, please contact our office and we'll do what we can to help you out. Um, Also, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button. You can click on the alert every time we put up a new video. You'll get an alert that there's something good for you to watch and something more that you can learn. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about is the cost of an estate plan. More importantly, how to effectively compare your estate planning options. What do I mean by that? Well, I get asked a question quite often, and it's how much do I charge for a trust? How much do I charge for a will? How much do I charge for an estate plan? And the problem with that question is you're only asking for one variable. What do I mean by that? Well, to illustrate this point, I'm going to ask you to decide which is the better deal. Is it the $30,000 mystery box or is it the $50,000 mystery box? The point here is you don't know because the only information you have is a price. Right? $30,000 obviously is less than $50,000. But you don't know what's in that mystery box. You don't know if that is actually going to work for you or if it's something that you have need for, right? And the only way we're going to figure out which is the better deal is we got to look in the box. So let's do that. Okay, so here's the $30,000 box had a Honda Accord in it, and the $50,000 box had a Mercedes S-Class sedan. Right, so if you chose the $30,000 box without investigating, you received basically a nice utilitarian sedan that has a starting price in the mid to high 20s and it goes up from there. If you pick the $50,000 box, what you received was a luxury sedan that the starting price for these is in the 90s. So that's one heck of a deal there. My point here is that you need to look in the box. You need to know what you're receiving, right? Because if you don't, you're comparing apples and oranges. And apples and oranges don't cost the same, okay? And if what you really want is an orange, don't ask someone for the price of an apple. Fair enough? All right, so here's my next point. Which is the better deal? The $28,000 Honda Accord or the $32,000 Honda Accord? Well, again, you don't know because there's two things you need to figure out. What exactly are you getting for that $28,000 and what exactly are you getting for that $32,000? So in this hypothetical, let's say that the car on the left is a standard trim level, has a basic sound system, and has the fabric seats, and that the car on the right has the leather seats and premium sound and the higher level trim level, right? What's the better deal? Well, it's going to depend now on you and what your needs are and what your wants are. So if you drive your car 20 to 30,000 miles a year and spend a lot of time in traffic and listening to classical music on a premium sound system would help relieve some of the stress of sitting in traffic, and the leather seats are going to be more comfortable, and you're planning on keeping this car for several years, maybe that extra $4,000 is money well spent and you're willing to make that investment. On the other hand, if you just drive the car around town to run errands and it's going to spend most of its time in the garage and you don't really care about premium sound or leather seats, well, maybe saving that $4,000 makes sense and that's the car you go with. So the moral here is that not all apples are the same either, right? So you need to really figure out what you're receiving in order to evaluate your options. Because your estate planning options are not all the same. All right. So when we compare estate plans on price only, we don't really know what we're receiving. And we fall into a common estate planning experience that is the one-size-fits-all experience. All right? And the reason this happens so often is because the technology is out there that allows the assembly of documents based upon user inputs. So if you go to one of the document drafting websites, they're going to give you an online questionnaire. You make your choices, you fill in the blanks. They're going to assemble the documents and ship them to you, or have you download them. All right. All those documents are based off of forms and templates. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've looked at those templates and they're pretty good. But they are drafted for the average situation. So it's very difficult to address specific needs when you're trying to draft for the general population. So those templates are very general in nature. Will they work? And the answer to that is maybe. Maybe you go to a lawyer that's going to charge a little bit more. And what I can tell you is it's going to be a very similar experience, except instead of sitting at home on your computer, you'll be in the lawyer's office, and they will ask you the questions, and they will generate the documents and have you come in and sign them. Now, what I can tell you is that the lawyers offering that service for a few $100, I'd say $600, $800, there is a limit to how much time they can spend with you or spend on your plan. They have to turn these around very quickly because there's a basic business model at play. They have to pay their overhead, they have to pay their employees, and they still need to turn a profit. And in order to do that, they have to be very quick in turning these planning documents around, which means they also need to rely upon templates and forms similar to what you're going to receive from an online source. They might be able to do a few things for you that the online source can't do, but again, there's going to be a limit to that. Now, what also tends to happen is they'll tell you that they charge $600, $800 for a trust plan or a will-based plan, and you'll come in and then we'll start adding on additional costs. That if you want custom drafting, that's going to cost you extra. And quite honestly, that's fair. But you should know that up front. You should know what you're signing up for, beforehand. All right. So it's just like buying a car. You don't want to choose the mystery box and then be surprised by what's in it or what's not in it. All right. So we offer a different experience, and it starts with a 2-hour education and design meeting. Now, we reserve the 2 hours because I think it's the amount of time that is needed to do a good job of both educating the client and helping them design their plan. Sometimes it takes more than 2 hours, and so we will schedule a second session if need be. And what we are creating is a comprehensive foundational plan that goes beyond documents, beyond document bundles or packages. It includes customized drafting. And again, I'll be honest with you, we use drafting software as well. So there's a lot of, basically everything starts from the basic templates, but then our software allows us to customize for the specific client need. We also include system implementation. All right, estate plans don't work all by themselves. They're just documents. They're not going to get up and come running to your assistance. So systems need to be put in place to make sure that those documents are accessible and available when they are needed in the moment they are needed. All right, and by the time we finish that design meeting, we've empowered our client with enough information and insight and knowledge that they now can make informed decisions about the plan that is going to be right for them and for the people that they care most about. So what does an estate plan cost? And the answer is, well, it's going to depend. But what I can tell you, and what I'll tell my clients, is that comprehensive plans for a single individual start at $1,000. Comprehensive plans for couples start at $2,000. Right, that includes the 2-hour design meeting. And but those are going to be the basic foundational plan. And then they're going to range upward from there, and we'll do plans that cost $8,000 or more, depending upon the nature of the planning choices being made by the client. If they want us to spend a lot of time doing a lot of custom drafting, if they want us to spend a lot of time working with them to make sure that the plans are properly implemented, we are absolutely willing to do that. But our time is our is valuable, so we need to charge for that. So the way it works is that at the outset of the design meeting, we will tell the client what the price range is going to be based upon our understanding of their needs. And then as we go through the design meeting, then they are making the choices about what they want, and then we can give them the final price. And that's how it works. So if you have questions about estate plans or what a reasonable price should be for a plan, feel free to reach out to us. We'll do whatever we can to help you out. You take care. Bye.